Good morning. What's going on, YouTube? It's Caleb. Today is June 18th, 2018. I want to do a little bit of a real estate update for you guys. Yeah, I haven't posted a video in a minute, so time to get back into it. I have some interesting information from both the Denver Post, DMAR, which is the Denver Metro Area Association of Realtors, and I'm also just going to take a look inside the MLS. I am starting to think that things are slowing down a little bit here. And a couple of these articles from Denver Post kind of back up what I have to say. This one was posted on May 26, 2018, so within the last month. And the title is Denver's Popularity Fading? More people are looking to move out than in, according to Redfin's study. And a rise in home prices could be one factor that are affecting migration patterns. And excuse me if the cat is going to ruin my video. Hopefully she'll be cool. But I will post this link in the description box, but I'll kind of read through it real quick. So it says more Denver area residents were looking at homes in other metro areas than the other way around during the first quarter, according to a new study that could undermine the belief that the region will always be a popular place to relocate. Denver now joins tech hubs San Francisco and Seattle, which have experienced even bigger real estate price increases in the column of fading popularity, at least with potential home buyers, according to an analysis of Redfin's website traffic. If you guys aren't familiar with Redfin, they're kind of one of the discount brokerages. Them, along with Trelora, they kind of offer a flat fee when you list with them. I can go into that in another video and what the advantage is versus a disadvantage of using something like them versus using an actual realtor might be. Since I'm an actual realtor, I would say you're going to get better service with a regular full-service realtor, but regardless, that's another video. So, let's continue. That first caught my eye. Why would people be looking to leave now rather than to come, said Tyler Marr, senior economist with Redfin, who has tracked where people are looking for homes in relation to where they currently live for the past 5 quarters. Marr is careful to weed out people searching for homes in Hawaii during the dark days of winter or those who stalk celebrity listings. People who have to search on listings in another region at least 10 times. And while looking doesn't equal buying, Census Bureau reports on migration have confirmed with a lag in the shifting preferences that Redfin is catching on early. So, Marr offers 2 answers onto why Denver has lost popularity. Job prospects are now much better in a lot more cities. Nationally, the unemployment rate is low at 3.9%, while in Denver it is 2.9%. But perhaps more importantly, housing costs in Metro Denver with a median price of $417,000 versus national average of just over $257,000 are too high relative to incomes. And I've kind of been saying this. If you look through my other videos, I've kind of said, we might be in a bubble in Denver. I actually took a really interesting class from a lender, and he gave a bunch of reasons that we're not in a bubble. And I can actually pull that up, but that's just kind of my gut feeling. I just don't think, especially people my age in the millennial category, I don't think we make enough money to buy the average home in Denver. And again, that's just Denver proper. Denver doesn't necessarily equate to Aurora or Lakewood or Thornton or some of the other areas outside in the wider metro area. And excuse the cat back there. Hey, do you mind? You're on camera right now. Can you bathe yourself elsewhere? Jeez. Joys of pet ownership. Sorry. So about 80% of the home searches in Denver in the first quarter occurred within the metro area, but a year earlier, 85% of searches were close to home. Many searches are in more affordable areas of the state, like Colorado Springs and Fort Collins, but a rising number of people are looking out of state. So, that means, if more people are starting to leave than are coming in, then we might see a dip in prices. And with that, I'm going to pull up another article from the Denver Post. I think I touched on this one in a previous video, but I found it interesting. This is actually from last year, last April 2017, but it says Denver, the Northern Front Range real estate party ends in late 2019. New forecast predicts. Median prices across the Front Range will fall 20% from 2019 to 2022. And again, I will link this in the description box below. And this is a study from a research group called Location Inc. And they warn that years of rapid appreciation are going to shift into a stretch of falling prices starting in late 2019. More specifically, median home prices will fall more than 20% during the following few years, due in large part to a growing gap in wages and home prices. So essentially this is saying the same kind of stuff as the first article. We have very low unemployment rate here in Colorado, but the amount that people are getting paid isn't enough to justify buying the housing prices here. So, yep, definitely a good article worth checking out. And like I said, I'll link to it. I'm not going to read through this whole one. I am going to pull up now some statistics from DMAR for June 2018. They give a report every month. And I think I've got it pulled up here. Yeah, so let me zoom out so you can see it. So market overview. And this combines data from 11 different counties. So Adams, Arapahoe, Boulder, Broomfield, Clear Creek, Denver, Douglas, Gilbert, Elbert, Jefferson, and Park. So this even gets a little bit into the mountains too. So that kind of can skew things a little bit. But, so, interesting stats. The active inventory is up 10% from last year. So there's 10% more homes for sale right now. The sold homes are down 10% from last year, almost 11%. And, the average price is up about 12%. Sold price is up about 10%. But, that's a little concerning that the inventory is going up and the amount of solds are going down. Insights. Denver market feels as though it's already feeling the summer slowdown with fewer multiple offers. So 2016, 2017, this was a big deal. Especially at the lower price points, you could be competing with, 10 to 15 other offers that came in on a condo or a home. If this is starting to slow down, that's good for buyers because you might have a better chance of getting your offer accepted. Denver is increasingly realizing its lack of affordable housing options and is trying to combat this through increased affordable housing legislation. And there was actually an interesting article from a couple months ago that showed people had purchased homes and they didn't realize that what they had purchased was actually an affordable housing. So now they're in trouble and they could potentially get kicked out of those homes. And that's not good for those people, but it just reminded me that I had read that a little while ago. Let's see. In the luxury market, cash offers are outbidding people with loans. 78 luxury properties sold in May were paid in cash, the highest sold price being a $3.29 million property in Boulder. It's Boulder, no surprise. And I'm not going to go through all of this, but I will also link you guys to this PDF in the description box if you want to take a look. It's definitely good to kind of know what's going on. But let's also just log in real quick to Matrix, which is the Denver MLS. This is the MLS system I use to find houses for people or list my listings. And we can just see this little market watch box here. Last 7 days, an interesting stat is the price decrease. They've been 1,200 price decreases in the last week on homes. So that means, you know, people are still in the mentality that the market's just shooting up and up and up, and so they're kind of overestimating what they're going to get for their home. So as we can see, there's quite a few price decreases here. We can kind of do, so that's just in Arvada. Aurora. So, you know, what that tells me is people aren't getting, you know, they're not just putting it up on the market and it sells instantly. You know, things are going to slow down a little bit more. And that also, just here in Parker, I have noticed a lot more open house signs every weekend than I would this time last year. Generally, open houses, you know, if you're holding open houses, that means, you know, you're not getting offers, so it's another tool that realtors use to try to get some interest in the property. So that's just kind of my own anecdotal evidence that things might be slowing down a little bit, because if you are seeing more of those signs, that just means that the inventory is not moving. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So just locally here in Parker, these are all homes that have had price decreases. So for example, let's check this one out. So they only decreased, you know, they went down a couple thousand. 370. You know, these guys dropped 20,000 on the 15th, 3 days ago. That's pretty. So that's the second drop for this one. And that's for a townhome. So, I mean, this also, you know, this also goes to show the importance of when you list a property, you really need to take a close look at the comps and try to price your home competitively. Because especially now, if things are starting to slow down a little bit, you know, people are going to take notice of that, buyers are, and they're going to say, why are they 15 grand more expensive than the house down the road when it has all the same amenities, same upgrades? So, you know, you're better off pricing it not necessarily lower, but at the correct price than you are to say, oh, let's price it 25 grand above what it should be and see if anybody bites. Not a good strategy, because nobody's going to bite. And then you are going to be sitting with the house on the market longer and longer. And the longer it sits on the market, ultimately the lower your sales price is going to be. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, if you currently own and you're thinking about selling and you'd like a CMA or kind of see where the value of your home is right now, you can contact me. I'll put my email in the description box. Or if you just have any general questions about what's going on in real estate, you know, I'm here for you. I'm happy to answer questions. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.